what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds. I've been in property now for over 12 years. I've done over 450 property deals. And in this video, I'm going to be answering your questions around property. So if you've got niggly questions and you need help, you have challenges, then comment those challenges, comment those questions in the comment box. And I'm going to do my very best to help you specifically with those issues. I'm going to be answering some questions from last Q&A Sunday last week, and honestly, there's so many interesting questions. There's a guy who just bought a house from auction and then regrets it because he bought it blind, and he said it's in a really, really bad street. So I'm going to be talking about that and tackling that issue. There's somebody who's thinking about buying a campsite. There's a 17-year-old that's thinking about getting into deal sourcing, but he's not sure if he should do deal sourcing or rent to rent, and a whole host of other questions and problems. Someone wanting to get in with co-deal sources and wondering how to convince co-deal sources to work with him. So if this sounds interesting, then stay tuned. Hit the like button, but I don't just want to be answering other people's questions. Right now, I want to be answering your questions. So comment your questions below as we are going. So I'm going to start with this auction situation. So Saeed Hussain says, I bought a property from London in auction. I didn't see the property before I bought it. Big mistake. The road the house is on is really run down. Any advice how I can just sell it on quickly and make a profit? I'm willing to sell it for cheap, £260,000, 3-bedroom terrace in Rainham, London. So again, as always, the first thing I'll say is when someone hits the rocks, at least they can be is a lighthouse for other people. So if you're watching this video and you're thinking about getting into property, never buy a property blind from auction. That is not a suggested thing to do. Also make sure that you read the legal pack and you have a survey on the property before you bid. However, that doesn't help Saeed right now because Saeed's in this situation. So what I'd probably say, Saeed, is if you've bought a property from auction, it sounds to me like you kind of just bought it blind, didn't know the area super well, and now you're like, oh man, I just want to shift this property. Maybe it needs a lot of work. I don't know the full details. First thing I would do is I would just speak to a local estate agent and I would say to them, look, how much will this property sell for on the open market? It may be that you do manage to make a good profit. The problem is it's just a bit of a gamble. You know, you kind of just took a punt in the dark. It might pay off. I hope it does. But the very first thing I would do is I'd speak to a couple of local estate agents, tell them about the house, let them look round, and they will be able to tell you very quickly how much that house will sell for in the open market. And hey, hopefully you bought it cheap and you'll be able to make a good profit. But if not, if you end up breaking even, at least it's a lesson. So if you need any help further though, sorry, just drop me a message on Instagram. I'm very happy to look at the property. And hey, if we can do business and make money, then amazing. Hope that helps. Marketing Matt. Is owning a campsite a good investment to cash flow that I can then inject into property? I'm looking to buy some land in a prime location and get 1 acre of land for about 10 to 15 grand, put in 30 to 40 pitches at 60% capacity, you gross £12,000 per month. So the first thing is if you're buying land, even if you're doing it as a campsite, you will still need to get permission from the council to do that. So just bear that in mind. You can't just necessarily pitch camps, caravans and stuff without permission, so bear that in mind. It's not something that I've personally done, but I have had quite a few students do it. Also my parents just bought a piece of land in the Peak District with the exact same thing, wanting to do what you're wanting to do, and it's definitely a good business. My best advice would be before you invest in any business, you just need to understand the business. If you're investing in holiday lets, you need to understand holiday lets. If you're investing in HMOs, you need to understand HMOs. So I think it's a good business model. I definitely think it can work. Also, it kind of still is property investing in a way because you're still owning the land, which is going to go up in value. And then you've got the trading business, which is the actual campsite. So do your market research, check the area, check the demand. I think it's a great business, but make sure that you know and understand the business before you invest in it. Hope that helps, Marketing Matt. All right, Ola Tokunbu says, my name is Ola. Oh, that would have been easier, wouldn't it? I'm 17 years old. My target this year is to make £5,000 in property investing. All right, so you're 17 years old, £5,000 per month or just £5,000? If it's £5,000 per month, it's doable. If it's just £5,000 this year, it's too doable. I mean, most people's problem in this business is not that they have their goals too high and miss. Most people's problem is that they set their goals too low and hit. So I hope that's £5,000 a month. I'm just wanting to know what property strategy is best for me as I live in South London. Deal sourcing or rent to rent? Great question. Okay, so I can't possibly tell you, Olu, what the best strategy is for you. You know why? Because I don't know you. I don't know your goals. I don't know what you're good at. I don't know what you love doing. So deal sourcing is really, I love deal sourcing because number one, you can make very quick money. You're learning how to find deals at the same time as getting paid, and the best deals that you find, you're going to keep them for yourself. So I love deal sourcing for that reason. However, rent to rent is good because you've got a recurring income coming from it. You're not having to make a sale every time you want to get paid. So they've both got their advantages, but I would probably suggest doing both. Why would you not do both? Package and sell a couple of deals and then put that money into some rent to rents. So I'd probably do both, and I hope to see you win big time. If you want to come down to one of our training programs, I'll leave a link in the description. We have got free tickets right now, limited spaces. So Olu, grab a ticket right now. That'll be amazing. All right, next. Abdur says, what's the best way to convince people to co-deal source with you if you don't have any rep? So if you don't have a reputation and you're wanting people to co-deal source with you, this is what I'd probably say, Abdur. You're saying, how do I convince people to co-deal source with me? But people that are wanting to co-deal source with you, you're not going to be able to convince them, not just because you haven't got a good rep, but you need to find somebody that wants someone to co-deal source with them. So what do I mean by that? Rather than thinking about you, rather than thinking about how can I get money, how can I convince somebody, you need to be thinking, what are the deal sources out there that have got more investors than they have deals? See, if there's a if there's a deal sourcer that's got 1,000 investors and they've got investors chasing them for deals, but they ain't got the deals, they're not going to need any convincing if you just say to them, hey, I've got some deals. Would you be interested in passing them to the investors and giving me a kickback? They're not going to need convincing. So, I don't know if you've heard the story about the guy that wanted to feed the pigeons. There was two guys that wanted to feed pigeons. They just wanted to get fulfillment and satisfaction from giving bread to birds. And one guy was chasing the pigeons with the bread, chasing the pigeons. And what would the pigeons do? The pigeons were running away. Did the pigeons want the bread? Probably. But because he was chasing them with the bread, they were running away. And then the other guy just put his hands out and put some bread on his hands and waited, and the pigeons came and went on his arms and ate the bread. So in the exact same way in business, if you're wanting to work with co-deal sourcers, then don't be chasing and trying to convince. You need to understand marketing. You need to just let people know what it is that you do and stay still and don't chase anybody. Let the word out, but don't try and close, convince, persuade. Just tell people what you're doing and wait for them to come find you. Ask questions. Say to them, what kind of deals are your investors looking for at the moment? Okay, great. Well, look, if I could find some deals, would you potentially be interested in passing them on to your investors? Okay, awesome. So you're just asking questions, and then if they're a good fit, they'll want to work with you. I hope that makes sense. All right, last question. Amira Mian. Is there any way I can talk to you about my situation? Yeah, man, of course you can. I'm accessible, bro. Drop me a message on Instagram, or drop me a message on Facebook, or drop me a message on LinkedIn, or drop me a message on TikTok. I try and respond to every single message on social media. So I'll try my best. Send me a message, hit me up. Also, if you want to come and actually do some training with me, then I have got limited spaces, but I have got some free tickets right now at the Property Investors Crash Course. Check it out in the description, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.